The field is under the first caution of this race due to the teenager, the 18-year-old Ben Rhodes, coming to grief. Keep an eye on this.
Yeah, he was running ninth. First start in the Xfinity Series. You can just see he was a little high on the exit there of turn 4. Does a good job of keeping it out of the inside wall for a good while, but a little damage there. Tough place to come with no practice.
It really is, and that's what, as unfortunate as it may sound, what the Xfinity Series is for. A young man like Ben Rhodes, he just learned that how tough this racetrack can be. We knew we had a competition coming, a competition yellow coming. No one was really around him. That one was just lost control.
Well, let's have a listen to what the young man had to say to his team.
I'm sorry, guys. I had a super loose race car and I pushed it too hard.
Had a super loose race car and I just pushed it a little too far.
I'd rather be the points leader. It sounds like a good story when you're second, as we have, the 4, I believe that's Ross Chastain with an accident.
Dakota Armstrong down low.
Looks like that car has been in the grass. Picked up a little bit of grass.
We're good. We just got grass.
Dakota Armstrong and Ross Chastain bring out the yellow for the second time. Very early stage in the Hisense 200. It certainly had a bizarre ending. Oh, and what has happened to Ty Dillon? We were just talking about...
Billy? We let off, and it just turned right. Like you cut a tire down.
And this is the difference. This is the full year-long points battle, not just a chase. So they're only going to have 5 weeks to recover from this. We're going to go on board with 3 and see what could have happened.
Gates open. Caution's out, caution's out.
Oh, yeah.
Caution's out. Whoa, we just went in the wall. What happened there?
Boy, that's a hard hit. Yeah, but that tire popped right there, so he ran over something on the racetrack.
So this is Dakota Armstrong down. You can see him heading to the grass. Ross Chastain up on the high side up into the wall. Didn't quite see the beginning of that, though.
It looks like it has all the makings of a pass trying to happen with Dakota Armstrong on the inside. Gets a little loose beside that car.
Oh, that tire pop, and that's what keeps a crew chief up at night, probably a driver as well. When we talk about a championship run, NASCAR, what is so different about NASCAR? The mechanical
was very good. He won. Devastating blow here, Ty Dillon.
Just kind of biding our time. Some of those guys are getting by me on the restart. Saw the caution come out. It wasn't for us, it was for somebody else, and all of a sudden it popped and hit the wall pretty hard. So I just hate it for these guys, hate it for Yingling, hate it for all our sponsors, but I'm so proud of my guys anyways. We've done an awesome job.
What a bounce back from their team. Currently running, we have a hard crash on the backstretch.
The 14 of Cale Conley. Heavy contact. And it looked like the 15 of Stanton Barrett as well involved.
DJ, that's a Dover wreck if I've ever seen one. There's nowhere to hide. If you spin on one of these straightaways, if you don't get caught in the outside wall, the inside wall will get you. You see here, 15 car has a fire under the hood. Drove it right to the safety trucks. That's what they actually inform you to do in the driver's meetings. If you can, bring that to the safety workers. Now he needs to drop the window net and get out.
Yeah, don't make them chase you down. Get there as quickly as you possibly can and then get out.
They weren't racing for position either, so it'll be interesting to see the replay as to how this came about between Stanton Barrett and Cale Conley in the 14.
It has the makings of something happened coming off of turn 2 here, and drivers racing for positions maybe just didn't clear. Let's see. Well, we have the 15 getting sideways, and then Cale Conley just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately.
And this is going to be a hard hit because I think I know where Cale Conley's going to end up. I've seen this play before. This inside wall.
Ooh. Yeah, there's safer barrier there now, which is a great move that this Speedway did, and NASCAR mandating that happened. So certainly not as hard as it was, but still a hard lick.
Now, Lee, what do? You have enough fuel to keep running. Rain is right on the edge of us. as a crew chief, you're Kyle Busch's crew chief, you probably need some tires, fuel and tires, if you're going to continue this race. But if you're farther down, are you going to stay out and think it might start raining under the caution? We saw this. David Rudiman years back wins the Coca-Cola 600 by not doing anything. By staying on the racetrack, that same opportunity perhaps could present itself today. This is going to be a line in the sand for a lot of these race teams.
Yeah, there's no reason for someone, Jeremy Clements back in 15th spot or Brendan Gaughan back in 17th, still in the lead lap. No reason for them to pit until they know this race is going to go back to green.
If I'm Ben Rhodes' crew chief Dave Ellens, perhaps I stay out to see if it rains. If it doesn't rain, I could come in. I do lose my track position, but I could take a little more time fixing the body, getting ready for that last 90-lap run to the checker.
So, Mr. Daytona 500 winning crew chief, what would you do if you were in charge of the 54?
If I was in charge of the 54,
qualifying session, problems for some of the crowd favorite cars. Here's Brian Sellers, the number 17, two-time defending race-winning Falcon Porsche.
Treacherous conditions in qualifying. We're on board here with Brian. He just touched, this is the deep water there. Hands off the wheel as he hits the tire wall. Big damage, a lot of work overnight to get that car on the grid.
And they weren't the only ones. Porsche RSR factory cars have just been dynamite all weekend, but the 912 car got off, bent the frame, couldn't be repaired. A substitute car was brought into play. They are quick. In the second hour of the race, Richard Westbrook powering through while the 912 behind him suffered an apparent left rear tire failure, went off, but was recovered.
That corner has certainly claimed some victims. This was a very, very slow progression to the wall for Oliver Gavin there. He got sucked in by that red clay and had no option but get all the way out to those tires.
Just show at ground level the way these trucks haul the mail off into the corner. Got in trouble up in turn 4.
Oh, and there goes Theriault hard into the wall. And that's Reddick in the 19 that had the problem that kicked it all off with Theriault as he comes grinding to a halt on the front straightaway after a huge, heavy impact here on the front stretch. Oh,
that was bells rung, but it's great.
He hit it a ton.
See that he's been able to communicate with the safety workers and extricate himself with a little bit of assistance from that truck. I would sit down too. That's scary looking. There's Reddick high in turn 4, loose. Just about has his truck saved, and along comes Theriault. Look at that right front tire.
Yeah, really nothing Austin can do.
At all.
Tyler Reddick, he was just fighting to regain control of his truck.
I don't know. We didn't see if anything maybe clipped Reddick and sent him sliding sideways. We just caught it as he was up there fighting for control of that truck. Saw him doing an amazing job hanging on to it. Oh, that's so scary.
It's such a sick feeling for Tyler, watching his teammate turn into the outside wall right in front of him.
They got the helmet off of Theriault.
Giving the crowd a thumbs up.
Yes, he was doing that.
Driver not to go there yet.
Already the 23 into the wall. That's Jeb Burton. Jeb might not have made contact. It looked as though he was right up against the wall, but Burton brings out the first caution. He was 36.
Nothing's tore up.
Right in front of Martin Truex Jr. had to go to the tail of the field. Looks like the 23 of Jeb Burton and the 32 of Josh Wise just get into each other, getting into turn 1. It ends up, the 23 does a great job not getting into the wall. Really, like you said, very little damage.
So pit road is open. The competition.
So you get right here. So
and into the wall, the 23. Jeb Burton and the 23 into the wall. The caution will come out.
Slow down. Clear all the way down. Clear down.
Right front tire is down. We don't know if that happened prior to getting into the wall or after getting into the wall.
It's that part of the run where you would start to see tire failure at this racetrack. Like we talked about earlier, it just punishes the tires. It's very difficult, limited practice. You didn't really get a chance to set your cambers and everything exactly like you wanted to. So
already up against the wall.
Yeah, it has all the makings of a right front tire. It's hard to say from this angle, though, what got him into the wall. But like Jeff had mentioned, late into a run here, that's when you start to see if you're going to have an issue. Normally you would see it almost to the fuel point. This really hurts is the 15. We had Clint Boyer on pit road a few laps ago with a potential issue. Ended up being a loose wheel, so he scored 2 laps down. Paul Menard scored 2 laps down. A lot of chase guys who needed good runs today.
Got a fire here. Just pull up here to the stop. Pull up here and let it, going up to the opening. On up to the opening. On up to the opening. Pull it over. Pull it over.
Bring it to the firemen so they can get out, put the fire out.
Safety crews are located at the opening, so they want to make sure that they can get to that car quickly.
Yeah, when the car hits the wall that hard, it rips the brake lines out of it, it rips things off, and it starts to burn. So typically it goes out by itself. Normally it's not a huge deal. We see the firemen out there put the fire out. Driver hates that. That is hard to breathe. When all that starts spraying, is hard to breathe.
Coming onto pit road, got a little bit tight between the 19 and the 41. This was the 2 entering pit road.
See the 41 trying to gain ground up on the 19, getting into pit road, gets into the back of the 19. That's just a driver trying to push the issue, trying to be as close as you can. Plus, there was a little bit of oil down there. We heard Kurt Busch talking about from the Jeb Burton incident.
Third because of the fact that he is the race leader, and caution has come out for the 47. A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, Rick, I was watching the 47. He entered turn 3, attempted to come to pit road.
There on pit road.
Just carried too much speed onto the apron and lost control.
Boyer, he will receive the free pass. This is A.J. Allmendinger trying to get onto pit road, trying to slow it down.
Well, that's a bad feeling. Door side to the oncoming traffic. Moving up onto the racetrack, that is not a good feeling.
And Steve, as a crew chief, we have 89 laps to go. You had said earlier 80 to 85 was our pit window. We're just outside of that. Will someone try to stretch it?
Oh, I think they're all going to have to try to stretch it, because I believe this is going to be the last pit stop, assuming we don't have another caution. Right. 4 laps outside the window. We saw last week at New Hampshire how aggressive everybody was. I think this is no different. With 89 to go right now, pit road wasn't open. We're going to run
say
one
how
more.
loose his race car was. It was a handful, and a big handful for the 34 car, Rick.
Brett Moffitt up against the wall will bring the caution out. This could be big for Dale Earnhardt Jr. If he did have a loose wheel and they did need to attend to it.
I don't see any fluid yet here.
Could be a very big break for the 88 team. As we look at the damage to the right side of Brett Moffitt's car. You see him up in front. And by the way, that's up in front of race leader Kevin Harvick.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Front of you, watch him. Stay low. Stay low.